I think a lot of times people misunderstand me. They see me as someone who, from time to time, lives in my own world, bouncing from one shiny object to the next. From the outside looking in, it might appear unorganized, and at times my priorities don't seem to align naturally with those around me. Yet when I look at my monthly goals and what I was able to accomplish during my reflection period, I feel the progress is made. I feel confident in my journey. Do you feel confident in your journey? Are the results that you're achieving each month over the course of a quarter align with what you want to establish for the next 3, 5, and 10 years? Are you setting a target that you're shooting for? What would it mean if you were able to say at the end of each week, you reached your full potential? How would that alone impact your success? I'm Branden Bodendorfer, and today we're going to talk about the 13th week and how this week is the most critical week of the next 90 days. Welcome to the Third Thursday podcast, a podcast that we've designed to help you take a moment to reflect on what matters, to adjust the different elements of your life and make the necessary pivots so you can embark on a life that is meaningful, that is fruitful, and that one that helps you grow personally and professionally. Today, everyone, I'm going to be talking about the 13th week and what it means to understand what the 13th week is. If you are a part of our planning system, you know by now that we institute in our quarterly planning the 12-week year. This is a very powerful book. If you haven't read it already, I encourage you to do so. We'll talk a little bit more about the methodology behind the 12-week year in this podcast. We'll talk about how the system is designed to take a high impact focus on what you want to achieve and break down what could be a 12-month horizon into a short 12-week period that can really be something that can help you achieve the results that you want to achieve. But before we dive into all of that, I kind of want to bring you up to speed on a handful of different things. This is my third Thursday podcast. And as I told you guys, this is going to be something that's going to be real and authentic. Did not expect the heater to turn on. Did not expect to fall over in this chair. This is actually an amazing chair. And if I was doing a review on the chair, I'd probably not do the integration right here. Oh my gosh, what just happened there? Took a total serious matter and just kind of fumbled it. That's sometimes what happens in life, right? We have full intentions to be serious, to bring into conversation a tone that we want to resonate throughout a speech or even a conversation with our staff or with our employees, with our family, because we want to resonate, right? Well, it doesn't change the importance of the conversation. It just brings a little humor to it. But anyway, welcome to the Third Thursday podcast. I introduced this podcast this year to really give you guys an opportunity to connect with me in a different light, to be able to see a little bit inside of me and what's taking place, to learn a little bit what's in my head and what's going into the planning system that we built for you. This planning system has been a journey, no doubt. It's been something we've been working on now for over 7 years, making it public 5 years ago. And the tens of thousands of people that use it, I highly appreciate you for a number of reasons. One, you brought purpose to my world professionally. You brought me out of an area of my life when I felt I wasn't making a real impact. You were able to give me something that I could continue to foster and grow and start to shine light and reflect my capabilities on others so that you can find progress in what it is that you do. And the tensions with this podcast was to be able to enhance that plan so that you can get better results from what you're doing. It's not just a template. It's not just a pattern that you follow, a routine that you carry out. It's really about the way you look at things and the way you shape your everyday to help kind of get the most from it. You know, they always say, how much juice can you squeeze from the orange or the lemon? This is the fruit of our life, and we need to squeeze from it the most that we can. And I feel that this coming week is truly the next big step for each and every one of you. We talk so much about having plans, having a vision, having goals for yourself, building on an action plan that you can implement into your daily and weekly planning. That's why we have the weekly review. It's why we have the Key 3. The Key 3 are designed so that each and every day you are able to dedicate focus on things that matter most to you. But what is the 13th week, and how does it set itself apart from the 12-week year and everything that you can learn from that book and that cycle? In our quarterly planning, if you're grabbing out your planner now and you are in a PDF mode, jump on your key page and jump to the quarterly planning tool. If you're working with it in OneNote, go into quarter 2 sections and jump into the planning tab there, and you'll see 2 pages. One is about review, and the other is about being able to build out your week. And we're going to kind of focus on this as part of the conversation. I'm going to highlight some of the things that are in it. For those that are not a planner user or those that don't have your planner in front of you, that's okay. Hopefully I can illustrate some of the thoughts and progress to you. Now, I wrote a script to kind of highlight some of the things that are top level, some importance to that. When I started doing this podcast, I said, hey, I was going to be very real and authentic. As you can see, I was very real and authentic just a few minutes ago. But I also recognize there's just certain things I have to get right. There's certain things that I have to be able to communicate to you that I know exactly what it is that I want to say in the way that I want to say it. And the best way to do that is to hopefully read from a short area of a script to give you some insight in that and then give you my response. Kind of think of it no different than going to church. Read from scripture. Pastor preaches on the scripture. I'm not a pastor, but I am going to read some things that I think that are important for you. So starting with the whole 13th week, and what is the concept behind that? In the planning system, we emphasize the 12-week year method, a system that is designed to break the year into focused, high-impact cycles. Instead of thinking of terms of 12 months, you condense your strategic planning and execute in a 12-week period. During these 12 weeks, you fully engage in working in your business and professional development, executing a clear plan with urgency and focus. But what happens in the final week, the 13th week, is your opportunity to step back, reflect on your progress, and strategize before diving into the next cycle. It's a time for assessment, celebration, recalibration to ensure each quarter builds upon the momentum of the last. And that is where we're at right now. The third Thursday is that moment in the month where you're able to do that. You're able to insert yourself in your progress. You're able to celebrate your wins and recalibrate and pivot the necessary things you need to do so you can win in the month. The 13th week of the quarter is your opportunity to do that in the year. Really it is. And if you are paying attention to anything when it comes to the beginning of the year and your intentions and your focus and how you dove into 2025, maybe you're listening to this in 2026, the concept is still the same. You did it with full intentions to focus on something you wanted to achieve. But this week, what I want you to do is I want you to reflect on that. I want you to take this last week of the quarter, and I want you to take advantage of this process. I want you to simply step back and ask yourself, what did you accomplish in the last 12 weeks of the first quarter of 2025? Identify the goals that you were successful with. What were you able to complete? And tell me why. Write them out. Give yourself an opportunity to go through that second page of your quarter 1 plans and give yourself a progress update. What things did you still need to work on? What things are going to essentially roll over into the next month? What challenges did you face? Were they expected or unexpected? If they were unexpected, was there any root to the cause? If they were expected, what did you do to help experience a win? How did you battle them? And furthermore, reviewing the opportunities that you set in front of you at the beginning of the quarter, where are you at? Are you holding steady? Have you been able to achieve them? Or are you still working through them? And as you start to kind of unravel this thought process, I want you to ask yourself, did your initial plans for the quarter align with the priorities that you have today? Has your priorities changed at all? Did something come up in the first few months of this year that drastically changed what you want to do with your life this year? Did you get a new job by chance? Did you happen to welcome someone in your family unexpected? Or do you have intentions to welcome someone in your family later this year? Maybe Those that celebrated Valentine's don't know that just yet, and that'll be a conversation we'll be having in the next few months. For all of you, I'm happy and excited for you. For some of you, still happy and excited for you. But the point is, the reason why we look at quarterly planning and we look at the 12-week year is we know things change. Life changes. The world around us changes. There's impacts on our well-being that we can't control. So if we continue to have this long-term horizon, this vision for ourselves, and we're not willing to make change in the process, we will not achieve the destination that we want to strive for. I was on a call this morning, and talking with someone, it became very relevant that I needed to share this with you today, and this part is not scripted. We might have long-term goals for ourselves. We might have long-term goals for our family, and even for the friends and people around us. We might have goals for our kids. We might have goals for our siblings. And sometimes the things that we have for our professional development and business are tethered to everyone else's goals. And this one individual I was chatting with today, they said that yes, they have all these other things and their family life is being affected by all these interruptions and creative opportunities at work, but everyone that's tethered to those opportunities at work do not have a long-term horizon on what they want to achieve, and they're in immediate need gratification. And those immediate needs are taking up a synergy of space in their life that everything seems urgent to them, and therefore everything else that they want to work towards doesn't really come into focus in the short term. And as days go on and weeks go on, it becomes very relevant that they don't see their long-term goals really acting in their weekly planning. And I said to them, well, in that particular case, you need to establish and create some boundaries. You need to be able to say, hey, there has to be a few hours every single day where I do take an emphasis and a focus on the things that matter most to me so that I can see that long-term horizon take place. And I hope for that individual that they'll start to see that come to light over the next few weeks before we meet again. But as we reflect on these things, there's always one thing that I always want people to consider. There's going to be certain things that come up that we intended to do. We maybe faced some challenges, maybe the technology or the elements around us did not allow us to achieve them. Instead of struggling into the next quarter trying to fight some battles that you know you can't win, it's okay to put those aside. So as we start to plan for the next quarter and we jump at the next quarterly page, one thing that we really kind of talk about a lot in our coaching sessions that we do is our success sketch. In the next quarter, let's brainstorm together. What is going to matter most? And if you're on the YouTube channel, you can see here I have my own personal plan here for not only developing out my work life, my personal life, but even some important customers and what I want to help achieve them. But start to brainstorm what matters most in the coming quarter. This isn't commitments yet. They're simply things that definitely matter to you. And you might want to go back in your previous quarter if you already did this exercise once before and copy and paste what your previous plan was and what was important and bring it into this quarter and start to go through the process of saying, hey, this is important, this isn't important, this has changed, and start to erase and rewrite in things. And then from there, what I want you to do is looking at all the things that you feel that are important to you, ask yourself, what is your motivation in the coming quarter? What is going to inspire you? For a lot of people last quarter, it was a new year, a new beginning, new opportunity. That worked for some, and it worked for some for a period of time, and maybe it worked for some for all, but maybe it's not working for you at all. That sounded okay. But this next quarter, I want you to expand that motivation. Are you doing the things you're doing for yourself? You're doing things for professional development? Do you want to see others grow? Is there a product or a service you're trying to expand on? Is there a space in your life you're trying to adapt or make change to? What is it that's really motivating you, and what is going to help you trigger success in the areas that you're identifying? I want you to be able to maybe even take a moment and highlight, out of all the things you just brainstormed, highlight the things that are going to be your primary focus in the next 12 weeks, in the next quarter. And from there, we're going to start talking about what it means to kind of organize this. Now, in our framework in our series 1 and 2 videos. If you guys haven't watched them already, you can learn how to build this form for our quarterly planning in a way that's going to help you be successful. And I'm not here to do that today. I want to just simply talk about like why this is an important strategy. But if you haven't watched those training videos, please do so. Please take time to do so. But I want to tell you a little bit more about the 12-week year and why that method is so important. It's powerful in the sense that not only does it help you approach productivity and goal setting in a different way, it helps you bring the focus of that approach into a 12-week period that breaks down what your real focus is over the course of a year. And what it does is it creates multiple cycles in the year. So instead of trying to think of 12 months, and what we want to achieve in 12 months, we can look at the 12-week cycle and look at it on a quarterly basis to say what is our urgency and intentions today and what's really going to drive home some action to help us create that execution of those goals while we are still able to stay dedicated and motivated to the actual goal that we set. I'll give you an example, real life experience. My goal last year was to lose 11 pounds. And in this mindset, 11 pounds over the course of 12 months doesn't seem like a big commitment, but it also knowing the fact that every month I have to stay religious, stay motivated and dedicated to my meal planning, my exercise, and my focus to continue to reach that goal can be straining. Now, what I did is I backed up and I said in the first quarter of the year, I wanted to lose 4 pounds. So to lose 4 pounds over 3 months, that seems way more achievable, right? But it's on track to the big goal, because in the second month I wanted to lose 3, and the next month I wanted to lose 3, and then in the last month I wanted to lose 2. If you do the sum of all numbers there, that's 6, that's 10, that's 12. I lost 11. Courses, I made some adjustments, but I kept on pace. The concept there with that is in each individual 12-week period, I was able to stay motivated and stay persistent in what it was I wanted to achieve. So as you look forward into the next 12 weeks and you start to outline the things that matter most to you and the things that you want to be part of your overall focus, identify what is the long-term goals. What stands out as something that's going to be an overarching objective that maybe goes beyond the 12-week horizon, but allows me to then break that down into a 12-week cycle. Take that big goal, divide it down, and manage it into what could be a 12-week execution period. So don't eat the elephant all in one bite. Take small bites at it and chew up what you can in each 12-week cycle. So that might mean changing your strategy a little bit, breaking down your action steps so that they're more focused on a smaller granular means. And then from there, start to define what is a clear, measurable objective in that 12 weeks, and then start to look at that 12-week time horizon in our toolkit and say, over these 12 weeks, this is the priority, and this is the way I'm going to execute that action plan. And this is the cadence in which I'm going to do it. And then in the spaces, in the key spaces, start to assess, where's your check-ins? Where's some milestones? And how are you going to hold yourself accountable? And how are you going to stay committed? Even jump into the planner a few weeks into each month and ask yourself on a day, just write in the notes section, this is where I thought I'd be here today. This is what I thought I would have accomplished. And it's okay to have moments of reflection throughout this process, because sometimes what that'll happen, it'll help you get back on track. It'll help you get remotivated on what it is that you're looking to achieve. And that is how you're going to gain greatness in your momentum. This 12-week period is really a time for you to be encouraged through the process so that the goals that you're working to achieve today are meaningful actions that are going to become part of your everyday life, that are going to get you forward in what you want to achieve. And even though in the 13-week, we really take a real emphasis on taking the opportunity to review and pivot and make adjustments, don't forget that you should be doing this stuff on a weekly basis. As you do that weekly plan, continue to ask yourself, what was it that you accomplished? What is the rolling projects? And how might you recommit yourself? And what is the areas that you want to work on? And then again, still address what things took you off focus. The whole process of this 12-week year and utilizing this 13th week is just really a means of getting you back fired up, getting you ready to take on the next leg. You look at relay teams and track, and we're approaching the track season. I have many of my friends that are in coaching positions, and they talk about the power of the relay, how that one person gets out and they really pull the team in front, and then they hand it off to the next person. That person's able to reignite the energy and strength into the race. And the same goes on to the third leg. And then that final leg person is there to give it all that they got to help achieve a record, to achieve a goal of hitting that finish line in first place. Each leg is just as important as the last, and no leg is less important than the other. Maybe you weren't successful in the first quarter. Maybe you're down from where you wanted to be, but you're not out. You got another leg. You have an opportunity here to take this 13th week, re-energize, charge yourself back up. Maybe take a day and just unload all the craziness that is around you so that you can then reorganize it into a plan that's going to be effective. Maybe you're already firing on all the cylinders and you're saying, hey, Branden, I'm going to keep charging forward. And that is great as well. But still take the moment to make sure what you feel is your true priorities is staying in focus. Don't see yourself running off on another path or another journey and losing sight of what is most important and what should be most mindful. As you enter April, I want you to have that energy with you. I want you to carry it through the next leg so that you can be successful. As we roll into this next quarter for us, we'll be rolling out the 2026 planner. We'll be introducing a lot of new tiles regarding the third Thursday, and we're going to be introducing an entirely new coaching system. I want to be able to bring to light not only the online planning that we have and the training that's there that we offer you in addition to this podcast, but I want to be able to personalize. I want to be able to give you and your team an opportunity to speak with me to help bring organization, professional development, and personal growth into your everyday life. And if we need to do that on a personal level, we will. So pay attention to that. If you haven't subscribed to the newsletter, I encourage you to do so. But as we round out this third Thursday, I hope your month has been successful. I hope you're striving to achieve everything you wanted to. And I hope you can go into next week and tie up the loose ends and hit all the goals that you had for first quarter. But really take a moment to utilize this 13th week to energize and recharge the next quarter. Because that is the next leg of this year. That is the next leg of your success. I'm Branden Bodendorfer, creator and founder of the Key2Success Planner. And thank you for tuning in with me. And Lord willing, we'll see you again real soon.